After a few hours, you go ahead and see LA is not too far in the distance there. We're gonna go ahead and be picking up some parts today for the Dark Horse, so let's go ahead and stay tuned for that. Literally just watching T-Wolf right now. We got some food here, got the kids, literally both of them over here. But LA trips always mean one thing, car parts. So we're actually go ahead and bring on some carbon fiber back to the house. So we actually showed up after hours, so luckily we just met up at a park right here, literally down the street from them. But right in front of us, you go ahead and see the first look of the new Dark Horse fenders. We're actually gonna go ahead and be the first ones running this because their actual SEMA car that's gonna go ahead and be heading to SEMA. It's actually Turtle, if you guys haven't seen him on Instagram. But he's actually gonna go ahead and be getting his stuff installed tomorrow. They're doing a whole video on that. However, we're gonna take ours home because we're gonna be doing our install back at Fresno with Unleashed Motorsports. So huge shout out to them. And you go ahead and see this is actually the other side of it. This is insane. So we're actually going to go ahead and get some boxes, and we're also picking up a hood. So right now we're just strapping everything down, and I don't know what we got going on over here, but we are in LA. Definitely looks like they got the spotlight out. Sheesh. That's wild, but right above us too. So one of the best feelings literally is having a truck bed full of parts and heading to the shop. Alright guys, so we're actually at Unleashed Motorsports' new shop. So this is actually technically going to be the first car that's going to get some work done. You go ahead and see he's got the wheel wall going up. They're actually still installing lifts back there. However, we definitely want to go ahead and install these as soon as possible. So we're going to go ahead and pretty much park it over here. Let's see if we have a jack probably to jack it up just to get the wheels off, to make more room, just to get the fender liner out. Makes it a lot easier if the wheels aren't on the car. But just to go over the process, we have a few bolts right here. You're gonna have to actually remove the weather strip right here, as well as I believe a bolt back here. Another bolt within the fender well right there. The bolt between the fender and the actual body of the car there. And honestly, I didn't check, but I don't know if the carbon piece right here is actually go ahead and go with the new fenders, or if we're just pretty much gonna have to just say bye to this and leave it right here. So we got the first fender off. You go ahead and see we had to leave the little carbon fiber piece there. Now we'll go ahead and say the most annoying piece here is the fact that I didn't take off the liner here because we're not taking the wheel off. But the bolts down there, I thought there was only supposed to be like 2, but it turns out there's like 4, and that part was really annoying. So let's go ahead and be the first look with the fenders on the actual vehicle. Go ahead and see, especially because this is the Dark Horse Blue Ember Metallic, the color shift really blends in really well with the carbon fiber. And these vents, I cannot just get over them, dude. They look so good. So something I cannot believe I didn't notice before, but looking at this fender, you go ahead and see this is actually trimmed right here. There's actually this whole piece there that's not there. When you're coming over here to the new carbon fiber piece over here, the actual issue that we're having right now is gonna go ahead and be that bracket right there, as well as the one up here that's hitting the entire hinge. Basically, because we have the vertical doors, the fitment's not gonna go ahead and actually work out. We actually have to go ahead and cut these, which typically would not be an issue, but because the whole shop is in a moving process right now, we're definitely gonna go ahead and pretty much have to pause for now. But this thing just looks so freaking good. So it's a late night, and fortunately we're actually picking up all the cars right now, but this thing looks insane. So now we have the actual carbon fiber fenders on. Fitment is 100. Very, very happy with this. Super excited to be getting this back on the road. So again, huge shout out to Muscle AutoZone for being the first ones to get these out to the public. With that being said, huge shout out to Unleashed Motorsports for also helping with the install. As you guys saw, we were able to work on one. We needed to go ahead and get that cutting done. So they went ahead and actually finished it up. I'm typically working about 50 hours a week, so sometimes it can be really difficult to get all these projects done. But again, thanks to Unleashed Motorsports, we're able to work together to get a lot of the stuff done. So it is never a mission success if we don't stop at In-N-Out. And we're finally actually go ahead and get our first look at the carbon fiber fenders on the actual vehicle now. As you guys saw, we had to actually go ahead and leave them at Unleashed Motorsports because they needed to get some cutting done. It is about a 0.85 wider than the stock fender, so you can actually go ahead and see from this angle just how much wider it actually is. and we are definitely tucking it as it is right now. But I pretty much have been driving the car with the fenders on for, I want to say, a couple days now, almost a week, and I gotta say the actual heat extraction does actually work. You can definitely feel tons of heat actually releasing from this area, so the vents are actually functional, and the mesh here, whatever you want to call it, is definitely some high quality stuff as well. So overall, the quality, I gotta say, is 10 out of 10. Very, very happy with this fenders. Stay tuned because definitely want to go ahead and get the hood as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a couple clips right now. Sunset's pretty much over, but you can just see a little bit of light coming over still. So let's go ahead and try to get some photos before we actually lose all the lighting. So that's actually go ahead to be the end of this video. Huge shout out to Muscle AutoZone for getting us these fenders, as well as Unleashed Motorsports for helping with the install. With that being said, definitely stay tuned because there is definitely some more Muscle AutoZone parts that are going to be coming to this car. So very, very happy. So stay tuned for all that. All right, so if you made it to this part of the video, we're going to go ahead and hear a cold start of the Shelby GT500. See how she sounds. It's been a little bit of time now. Oh yeah, sounds good. Well, normally I would go ahead and fill up on gas, but we are completely out here. And honestly, the peak sub was ready 20 minutes ago, and we got to pretty much go. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the S550 over there. All right, so jumping into the S550 over here, letting the tank fill up with some air. But on a real note, if you made it to this part of the video, I really do appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Let's go ahead and fill in some information here about the Dark Horse. You go ahead and see the fenders are sitting pretty on there. We also have the hood actually already on the car. So I did already speak about this on Instagram. So again, if you're not yet following me on Instagram, that's really where I post the real-time stuff. However, just because you guys are watching a Dark Horse build and you guys have been watching it since the beginning there, we were planning on taking the car to SEMA. Obviously, we went with the... what you guys actually didn't know and I really didn't speak about was we were actually planning on wide-bodying the Dark Horse. That was what we were going to take it to SEMA for. We were actually going to take it for a company that was revealing the wide body there. However, they were unable to meet the deadline for that, and it definitely happens when we're talking about SEMA builds. But with that being said, what we ended up doing now, as you guys go ahead and see, huge shout out to Muscle AutoZone again, because we were able to get these wide fenders, wider than stock body. Compared to some of the other companies that were working on the GTD look, they were actually doing it to stock body. In this case, these are, again, 0.85 wider. So technically, we did get a little bit of a quote-unquote wide-bodied look on the Dark Horse there. We also got the GTD hood from Muscle AutoZone. Now, that is actually going to be for a separate video, so definitely stay tuned for that. We were actually able to reveal it at Cali Creaming. So luckily, again, we were one of the first individuals to actually have a GTD Dark Horse style car, pretty much. But again, huge shout out to y'all for showing the love and making that happen. Definitely stay tuned for the GTD hood going on there. I still am looking forward to Boost at some point. The GTD hood just makes it all that more important. We actually also even had the Terminator hood on this car that we haven't even talked about. But again, I definitely appreciate every single one of you. Go ahead and continue to follow along. The Dark Horse is still rolling here. We're still making the content with it. We still got the S550. We got the Cobra still getting worked on. We have the Shelby GT500 hitting the streets again. So I definitely appreciate, again, all y'all. And I look forward to making more content. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.